You haven't seen change because you're still holding on. You say you want something different, but you're still gripping what feels familiar. In this episode, we're talking about the real reason things haven't shifted yet. You haven't fully let go. Not halfway, not emotionally, not spiritually, but for real this time. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Pretty Aligned Podcast, the space where we shift perspectives, reframe the way we think, and step into alignment with who we're truly meant to be. I'm your host, Octavia Darling, and every week we'll have real conversations that help you reset your mindset, overcome limiting beliefs, and create a life that feels good from the inside out. So grab your coffee, tea, your journal, or just your open mind and get ready to receive. Let's get into it. In last week's episode, we talked about why you can't build a stable, aligned life on unhealed foundations and how avoiding your inner work can keep you stuck in cycles that you've outgrown. It was just a reminder that we all need that when you heal the root, everything connected to you has no choice but to grow differently. So make sure you listen to that episode if you haven't done so already. Also, a few gentle reminders. I designed the Mindset Matters Playbook for the person who knows they're called for more, but maybe you feel unstuck, unsure, or out of alignment. This digital playbook will teach you how to reframe your mindset and become the best version of yourself. So make sure that you grab your copy today. And also, if you did not know, I offer one-on-one coaching opportunities for creatives and entrepreneurs who are so tired of guessing, overthinking, and doing everything alone. During our coaching session, I will teach you everything about content creation, social media management, monetization, strategy, analytics, and so much more. And I guarantee you that after our sessions, you will walk away with clarity, confidence, and a plan you can actually execute. All of this information is listed in the show notes. Now let's get into this episode. You can't receive new while clutching the old. So here's a relatable truth, you all. You're praying for change, but you're still emotionally attached to what broke you. How many of you can relate to that? I know I can, and I will admit this past year, that truth has been so revealing to me. Now, here's a few things that people often hold on to. Old relationships, old identities, old habits, old versions of themselves, and comfort zones that feel safe, but also limits growth. See, the thing is, letting go isn't about losing. It's about alignment. And just because something is familiar, it doesn't mean that it's healthy or that it serves a purpose for where you're at in this new season. The truth of the matter is that you cannot elevate while you're negotiating with your past. And this is something that I've had to face. Really face. I want to say towards the end of last year. It was a part of me that knew that I needed to grow. But it was also another part of me that was holding on to what was familiar. And that came down to my habits, to the conversations that I was having, to the people that I would associate myself with, to the things that I would watch on TV, to different music I would listen to. It came down to all of that. And I had to realize the hard way that if I keep negotiating with my past and just keep dibbling and dabbling and doing the things that just feel safe and comfortable for me, I was never going to evolve to the person that I am today. Now, have you ever thought of this? Why do you keep asking for new doors while holding the handle of the old one? Delayed change is often delayed attachment. The reason that nothing looks different is because you're still tied to it. How many of y'all can relate to that? I have had many conversations with friends and families over my lifetime, and some of those conversations are in relation to the art of letting go. But here's what I gathered. There are some ways that we fake, quote unquote, letting go. One way is that we say we're over it, but we still replay it in our head. Now, I'll admit, that's easier said than done. For real, because I can't count how many times that I said that I was over something, but deep down, I still felt bothered. My heart would still race. It would still run through my mind. I was losing sleep. I was just completely uncomfortable. And that was something that I had to learn on how to heal from, because if I say I'm letting go, then why aren't my actions aligning with that? Another way we fake letting go is we say we moved on, but still identify with the old story. I know that a few of you are like, oh my gosh, this is so me. I know, it's okay. You could be honest. But it's true and it's relatable. We say we move on all the time, but we're still connected to that pain point, that trigger, that emotional trigger as to what caused the disruption in the first place. So here's a few things I want you to keep in mind. Physical distance isn't the same as emotional release. You can physically separate from a person, place, or thing, but if you're still emotionally tied to it, you're not letting go. You also can't heal what you're still romanticizing. I'm talking to myself, y'all. And detachment is discipline. I'm sure that some of you definitely understand where I'm coming from. Detachment is not the easiest thing, but it's so beneficial. You really have to discipline yourself to detach from the things or people that do not serve you. And that may look like changing up your routine. Maybe you're so used to sending or receiving that good morning text, but now that you're not together with that person anymore, you have to replace that habit with something else, right? Maybe you're used to going to the bar every Friday night, drinking more than what you can actually handle. But because you want to build that dream body, you know that alcohol, or I should say an overconsumption of alcohol, doesn't support the body that you're trying to build. So maybe instead of going to the bar every Friday, you can replace that with something that aligns with a healthy habit. It's all about shifting your mindset to discipline. That's how you're able to detach and fully let go. Because the hard truth is, a lot of us think that we're letting go, but we're really not. We're just putting it on pause. Real letting go requires identity shifts. You don't release the thing, you release the version of you attached to it. And this is where it gets really deep. Letting go can mean letting go of being the victim. Maybe it's time that you start taking accountability for your actions and the role that you play in these scenarios. We're not all innocent, right? Letting go of being chosen last. There's this nickname that I created for myself a few years ago when I felt that I wasn't being prioritized. I felt like I was just put on a back burner. I was a second thought. I wasn't being considered and all of these things. And the nickname that I created for myself was Back Burner Betty. Back Burner Betty. And I used to say, don't treat me like Back Burner Betty. I'm a priority. Don't treat me like back burner Betty. I'm not the second option. I'm the first option, right? Maybe you need to let go of proving yourself. There are going to be times when people just don't get you. They don't relate to you. They don't want to understand you, and that's okay. You don't have to go above and beyond proving who you are, what your value is, and why they should want you. And maybe it's time to let go of survival mode. I know that may sound easier than what it actually is, but let's be honest. The mindset of surviving and just always living in survival mode is exhausting. It keeps you stagnant. It keeps you stuck in a loop because you're constantly doing things just to get by. You're not thriving, right? So I'm going to ask you, who are you without the struggle? Who are you without the chaos? And who are you without that old story that you keep replaying in your mind? Some of you aren't holding on to them or that thing or that place. You're actually holding on to who you were when you associated yourself with that person, place, or thing. All right, love, let's go over some relatable scenarios during this hot seat coaching segment. Now remember, I always welcome you to let me know what's going on in your world that needs a reframe. Feel free to send your scenario to me and I just might coach you on the podcast. The link to the submission form is listed in the show notes. The first relatable scenario is the almost relationship. Now, this may relate to someone who was in a relationship, you knew it wasn't right, but it felt comfortable. And because it felt comfortable, you just can't seem to fully let it go. This was Octavia. Yes, I'm going to call myself out on this. I definitely overstayed in a relationship before. And I overstayed because I was comfortable. I overstayed because I was content. I overstayed because I did not want to start over. And that is truth, right? I overstayed because I already visualized what my future would look like with this person. I already visualized that we would be married, we will have kids, we will have a home, and I will live happily ever after. Surely that dream was going to come true. But deep down, I knew it wasn't right. I knew that we outgrew each other. I knew that I overstayed my welcome, but it was comfortable. And I just couldn't let it go. Until one day, life, God, said it's time. And one day, it happened. We separated. And during my healing process, one of the main things I had to continue to remind myself is, you're not missing them. You're missing the potential, right? You're addicted to the hope. Now, see, hope can keep you stuck longer than heartbreak, because the hope was, oh, maybe this is a temporary separation. Maybe we'll get back together. Maybe, this just happened within the heat of the moment. But the truth is, I was holding on to what could have been, not what it actually was. And if you identify with this scenario of the almost relationship, I want you to comment down below. Let me know. The second scenario is the old version of you. You're the type of person that wants to grow, but you feel guilty for changing. because you don't want people to think that you switched up. Now, hear me out. Growth will always make people uncomfortable. But the reality is that some relationships were built on the old version of you. And not everyone benefits from your evolution. So when you let go, keep in mind that letting go also includes releasing people's expectations of you, because you can't evolve and stay emotionally loyal to who you used to be. The change you're waiting for is literally waiting on your release. Now, here's a few questions I would like to ask you all to reflect on. What am I still emotionally tied to? Am I healing, or am I just distracting myself? What version of me is scared to let go? And what would my life look like if I released this completely? Repeat this affirmation with me. I release what no longer aligns with the person I am becoming. I trust that what's meant for me will remain, and what's not, I let go without fear. Thank you for hanging out with me today on the Pretty Aligned podcast. I hope something in this episode gave you a fresh perspective or a new way to see yourself. Remember, small shifts create big change. If you love today's conversation, share this with a friend who needs it, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next reset. Until then, keep aligning, keep growing, and keep becoming the best version of you. I'll see you in the next episode.